So historically, when services are being provided to vulnerable families, we think about the family and we think about the parents, but often we forget about what's going on for children. Often there's been a logic that if you support the families and the families are getting their needs met, then there'll be a trickle-down effect for children. But our research has shown that actually kids often will have needs that are independent of their families, that obviously will be affected by their families, and often if we provide good supports to the families, the children are going to be okay. But there are other things that are going on for kids. Kids have got thoughts and feelings that adults aren't always necessarily aware of, that there's things that they need in a particular situation that don't necessarily get picked up. So we have to talk to kids, we have to think about kids, we have to place kids' needs at the front of our practice. And that's really what child-centred practice is. It's about thinking about children. Kids don't necessarily have to be in the room. We don't have to provide services directly to children, but we need to think, what's going on for this child or this group of children? What are their thoughts and feelings, and what do they need from this situation?
What we need to do too is create child-friendly environments. It's about saying, okay, how is a kid going to feel in this space? What do they need here? Is it accessible? Is it something that sends a message to children that they're welcome there? Kids tell us that often what they do when they go into a new space is to look around and to see, are there any things that point to the fact that this is a safe place for kids, where people are thinking about kids, where people are responding to children? Are there things around that suggest that other kids have been here before? And if they have they had fun? So kids tell us that having bright posters on the walls, or having kids' artwork, or having messages up that say, we respect you and we value kids in this space, can be really empowering and sends a message to the kids that actually workers are thinking about them, are wanting to know what's going on for them, and are there to listen when they need it. When thinking about the environment, we also have to think, what are some of the things that send messages to kids that maybe they're not safe, or that it's not a friendly place for children. It's about thinking about, where particular rooms are. Are they in places where kids can see the outside world, where they're kept away from noises and sounds and things that might be distressing for them. I think kids have often told us that they love having little playgrounds and what have you in spaces, but if they're in spaces where people might leave cigarettes or syringes or what have you, it's not a safe place for kids. So we need to think about that. What's the built environment like? But also, what could we do to make that space more child-friendly too? Workers have often told us that when doing home visits or what have you, they can't make the space more child-friendly, or when they're going to a hospital or doing outreach, that it's difficult because that space isn't naturally child-friendly. Well, our advice is take a basket with you, take some games, take some dolls, take some colouring in books, some bright blankets and what have you, and just be there with the kids and create your own little wonderland where kids can feel safe and secure, and where you can have some of these interactions that kids want and need.